EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Atlanta Falcons. And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. The sack there by Brandon Graham coming in and bringing him down to the ground. A lot of talk the other day about them wanting to quiet this home crowd early and often. Very first play of the game, they do just that.
You're exactly right about that, because that's often a conversation when you go on the road and you travel. Hey, let's take the crowd out of it. What a great way of doing so by putting the quarterback on the deck.
Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that'll make it 3rd and 13.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense, because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's 4th. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down. Well, able to get the completion, but unfortunately not able to get the 3rd down conversion there on that play.
And I like how the defense approached that one. They knew where the first down marker was, and they decide whatever you want to have, you can. You're just not going to get the first down. Excellent tackling right there.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And taken right on the 30. It'll be a 10-yard return following a punt of 45. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. The Eagles in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Out of the gun, Lynch. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Lynch throwing over, and it's Taylor on the out route that completes it. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. 22 yards on the catch and run, a 1st down.
That turns into a very well orchestrated play right there. Going to work his way out of the backfield to the right, and after he looked it in, he found plenty of space to roam and picked up big yardage.
On 1st and 10, it's Lynch. Open man, that's Devontae Smith. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
You always worry about those smaller receivers running through that gnarly patch of land in the middle of the field. But he did a really nice job there holding on to the football and protected himself as best he could while completing the play.
Off the play fake, here's Lynch. This is caught by Latimer. And they're going to be set up now with a ball at the 13-yard line. 4 consecutive passes to begin this opening drive, and you can't argue with the results. They've already driven it into the red zone and a fresh set of downs here to play with.
Which means there's a lot of trust by the play caller, by the quarterback, the receivers, you name it. Everyone locked in, everyone doing their job. I'd continue to go in that direction because right now they get the defense back on their heels.
And the Eagles are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, you just need the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with 1st and goal.
Throwing again here, Lynch. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Chances are good he's going to be a very busy guy. 2 catches already in this opening drive, and they were looking his way for a third.
I think they put this defense on notice that could be a really, really frequent combination. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. They'll run for it with Martin. And he will take this one in for an Eagle touchdown. Taking it in from a yard out. And the Eagles get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. So both sides of the football contributing here early. Their defense forces the punt, and then the offense takes it down the field and punches it in on the short touchdown run.
And, Brandon, that's good complementary football, and that's what they're going to need if they want to get out of here victorious.
Extra point right down the middle, and it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. So for the second time in this one, we get set to see the Falcons offense. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. They went 3 and out on their first drive. Things already looking better here, 1st and 10.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Oh, he still brings it in off the tip here on the deep shot. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. That goes for a gain of 31.
There's the arm strength that we saw in college and during the scouting process. And really, it's not just the arm strength there, but the placement as well. To me, that was an excellent combination of arm talent and accuracy.
Back to throw now on 1st down. That'll be taken in by Demir Bird. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Well, so far, little to no resistance by the defense on this drive alone. 3 passes, 3 completions, 3 first downs. They're taking it to him, and it's paying off.
A 1st down carry for Smith. And able to work his way down to the 16. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. Now they'll run the option to the short side left. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave them with a 3rd down.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the 1st here. They'll try and run for it with Smith. And they needed 2. They could only get 1. 4th down.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
So out now comes the field goal unit for the Falcons. From the left hash, a 31-yard attempt. And his kick is right there. It's good, and they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number one. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
The lead cut to just 4 as they kick it away and turn things over to their D. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. So back onto the field, here come the Eagles for their second drive. The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
On second down, Martin. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now, look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run. A couple extra tight ends in the formation here as they line up 3rd and 2. They'll try and pick it up by running the option to the right. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Well, so much for that possession.
Yeah, I think he tried to do a little too much there, partner. He tried to keep it himself. End up getting buried in the backfield, and that brings up 4th down.
The Eagles send out their punter now. Avery Williams deep for Atlanta. 46 yards on the boot. The coverage holds him to just 3 on the return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. So out come the Falcons now. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. But prior to that, he had hit his first 6 passes to start the game, so on a nice little run to begin.
It feels like this offense has carried its dress rehearsal into the game. You know, because you do practice it, you do go through it, and in this case, it is clicking exactly like they drew it up.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And complete to Drake London. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A big gain of 31 on 3rd down.
That's a real nice job right there, working the middle of the field, working against those safeties. And you know, partner, if you get your hips turned the wrong way, big plays can result.
And a big play resulted right there. They'll try the right side here with Smith. And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Sometimes in the run game, you can make the argument that quickness beats size. And how about the example right here?
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. look to throw here. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And the tackle going to be made at the 38. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. The Falcons on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. They'll drop to throw. And Blunt has it. And they're going to move it down inside the 25.
And that's well executed there on third down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Looking to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
It appears he'll be a few inches short, so 9 yards on the gain officially, and it'll be 3rd down.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Escaping the pressure right. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on 3rd down.
I haven't met a quarterback yet that didn't enter the league with a massive chip on his shoulder if he wasn't a first-round pick. They want to show the league that they made a big mistake. Determined to get the first down there, no hesitation at all to tuck it and go. I bet he would have tried running through their entire defense if it meant reaching that marker.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Not the 1st and goal play they drew up. Multiple defenders in to bring him down to the ground. Well, that's not how you hope to draw it up there on 1st and goal, CD, by taking a sack like that.
Well, they tried to be aggressive, didn't they? They didn't want to try and work their way past the goal line. They wanted it right there on that play. Unfortunately, it backfired against them. Now they have to try and pick it up here moving forward.
They'll wind up getting 7 on the completion, but they'll still be faced now with a 3rd and goal situation. They're going to look to throw. Buying time to his left. And he'll just chuck this one up into row G. It's incomplete. Another good drive, Charles, but it looks like another that might end in a field goal try.
They've made some nice plays. They've given themselves opportunities, but as you noted, another field goal attempt coming up. And that's not how they want to end drives. They've got to figure out what's the final touch that they need to push it across the goal line.
Yeah, still yet to find the end zone. And his kick here is good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
Atlanta's 11 ready to go, and they kick it away. Fields it right around the goal line. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
They start the drive with Martin. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now it's Lynch. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Rodgers. And he goes out right around the 39. So 8 yards on the completion there. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. 39 yards on the punt, give him just 1 yard on the return. And it will be Falcon football. Atlanta now coming out on the field. Now they're about to come up on drive number 4, but so far just 2 field goals on drives 1 through 3.
Wondering if the head coach has talked with his offense coordinator and said, look, let's go ahead and press this a little bit. I'm giving you 4 downs on just about every occasion to try and get this offense kick-started and have it culminate in touchdowns. You know, maybe someday press it a little bit. This might be the case.
And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. They'll set up a throw. And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. He'll look to throw. Going down the middle, and it's complete. He's going to have the 1st down and more than that. Touchdown, Falcons. Demir Bird, 75 yards. And the Falcons have taken the lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. The Eagles just about set to go to work on offense. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. On first down, it's Lynch. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by A.J. Terrell. And the Falcons are going to take possession of the football. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Inside handoff, Smith looking for a seam but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. The tackle by Nakobe Dean.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
46.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone and unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
So out now comes the field goal unit for the Falcons. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. And no, it doesn't get there. Hits the crossbar, bounces back out. He had it online, but it comes up about a rotation short. Well, he had that one on target. That's half the battle. The other half of the battle, however, is distance.
And he nearly had that, too. But it was the crossbar that said otherwise, and that'll deny him a shot at 3.
They try the 50-yarder and miss it, and now this offense has it 1st and 10 at the 40. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
They run over center with Martin. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. That good for 22 and a 1st down. They had a chance to limit his yardage, but he was able to fight off that tackle.
So it's not just the responsibility of the guys who missed the tackles along the way. It's all 11 on defense, able to stop this guy, unable to do it on that play. They've got to find a way. How about his ability to break through and gain that yardage?
The throw over the middle taken in, and he'll be brought down at the 27.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
First down, here's the run with Martin. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
From the 24, Lynch. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sack back at the 29. Call it a loss of 5, a big sack to bring up 3rd down. Well, when you time those screen passes perfectly, they can work perfectly, but that time it took a little too long to develop.
And you zeroed in on exactly what makes that play go. Timing. Because if the timing's off at all, those unblocked defenders coming at the quarterback, they'll put him on the deck.
And he's going to go down again. The Eagles send out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This one angles out of bounds at a good spot in the coffin corner. And they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
And from that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. They're going to go with a tight end here on the running play. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. Here's 2nd and 8. He's got Smith here. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. They'll look to throw now on first down. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. Throw left side. There's London. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Atlanta.
Now how about this throw right here? Had to throw it to the left sideline, and you know the timing's got to be correct on this one. Ball's got to be right where it needs to be, and it was. That's because he had great arm strength on that one, able to drive the football. Quarterbacks love it when they can show off their arms.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. Back to throw again. This one complete to Smallwood. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
They'll look to throw again. Wide open receiver complete. And they will get the first down here as they move into field goal range as well inside the 25. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
And that was good protection there. No, that was great protection there because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver. Although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice gain.
So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. This is a 40-yard attempt from the left hash. And this one is right through. And now it's a 2-score game at 9, 16-7. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
Maybe time for one play on offense. 7 seconds to go in the half as the kick is away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Well, the Eagles going to get one final possession in this first half. And with only 4 seconds on the clock, time likely for just one snap of the football. Well, the white flag coming out as they line up to kneel on it. All that remains is to snap this once, and that'll do it for the first half of play. So we come upon halftime with 9 points separating these two teams. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he'll be brought down at the 28-yard line, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone gets him 3 more. The Eagles ready to go on offense to begin this third quarter. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well, and they've kept them around in this game. Now they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
Throwing here, Lynch on first down. And this is Latimer, complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
A couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that could really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. From the gun, it's Lynch. And he coughed it up, and the Falcons grab it. And he will take it across midfield and down to the 45. They'll come out throwing here on first down. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And this will be caught by Edwards. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line. They'll come up now on 2nd and a yard. Now it's Smith running right. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. But I bet the offensive lineman said, "Are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down." They love being physical.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
So from the 17, here's 2nd and 7. They'll set up to throw. Over the middle, caught by London. Touchdown! Drake London from 17 yards out. And they are able to add on to their advantage.
Partner, they had a good lead as they went in at the half, and they came out here in the second half and found a way to extend it. I love their consistency. Don't worry about what they said at halftime. This seemed like a team that was ready to play 60 minutes. And while this game is far from over, I love their approach.
And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And that bumps their lead up even further. So they're able to throw it in for the two-point conversion. And sometimes that can be a risky play, but they got it.
Yeah, you always have to be careful here because if you do get it intercepted, it's returned by the defense, that's 2 points for them. But he identified an open target and put it right on him.
Atlanta's 11 ready to go, and they kick it away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Yeah, this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They run it again with Martin. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Now they'll look to throw it with Lynch. And this one is incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. And now Lynch. And he's got his man. It's the tight end Goddard. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 43. A 3rd down gain of 19.
Oh, a lot of credit to the play caller here. He saw the design in his mind and implemented it. A little zone stretcher here because they started the tight end on the left side of the formation and sent him on a crossing route. And this works really well when you can find that space between levels, and they were able to do so for good yardage.
And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
The defense was ready for the back to leak out and even had a second player waiting to double him up. If you're going to commit to doubling a back, you better prevent a completion, but give him credit. Extra determination, extra effort, turn it into a successful play.
3rd and 2, now Lynch. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Offensively lucky they're able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it, changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Atlanta prepped and readied for its next possession. And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments, prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively. One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Looking deep downfield. And this one almost intercepted. Had a chance to come down with it in the end zone, but could not hang on.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 35. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there, because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Smith up the middle, and he'll be taken down at the 34. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Smith catches left side. And he's going to be a yard short. Needed 4, but got 3. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we'll begin it with a field goal try here. From the left hash mark, this a 43-yard attempt. And his kick is indeed good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Atlanta's 11 ready to go, and they kick it away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble and bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. Lynch to throw. Going up top. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, Lynch. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. He's going to have the 1st down and then some. Loose inside the 30, inside the 10. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Quez Watkins, 73 yards. And the Eagles have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. And that is the definition of yards after catch. They go short on the pass, and the receiver does the rest.
Seems so harmless, doesn't it, to throw it underneath, a short pass like that? But, boy, it gets dangerous in the hands of the right receiver as he makes a move and takes it the distance.
The Eagle kick team out there now as they run up and send this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking 1st downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, 1st downs, they can't touch the ball.
They begin with a run by Smith. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. I'm sure that that's going to be the formula. Just keep the ball on the ground, keep that clock moving.
And when you have the lead this late in the game, above all, stay in bounds. Yes, take care of the football. Yes, gain yardage, but stay in bounds and let that clock tick.
2nd and 9 now. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Ford.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those too.
And he is going to have a Falcons 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that pickup of a 1st down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here, down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
On play action, they'll throw. Looking right sideline, that's complete. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. So much for the run on 3rd and 1. Instead, it's a big chunk in the pass game. 1st down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
And, Brandon, as you know, sometimes it's a lot tougher to run with these tight ends nowadays in the NFL. They're just bigger wide receivers. He lined up on the left side of the formation, ran a drag route across the field, and tried to work his way open. He was able to make the catch, but the defenders were there, couldn't do a whole lot with it afterwards.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And the Falcons are going to be set up with a 1st and goal here as the tackle made at the 9.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. He'll drop to throw. That one thrown away from the pocket. The officials kind of looking at each other, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, so no penalty, just an incomplete pass.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. On 2nd down, here's Smith. And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. A nice run there as he picks up 6. It's going to be 3rd and goal now. This is kind of one of those in-between plays here, Charles, on 3rd and goal from the 2 or the 3 in that area. What do you dial up?
Something quick hitting. You don't have the time for something that develops slowly. It's got to be right at them if you're going to run the football. And if you're going to throw it, something quick, get it out of your hands in a hurry.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Brandon Graham picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Like the footwork back there, I thought he did a pretty good job of evading that first wave of players. Tried to buy a little extra time out of the pocket, but in the end, oh, that was a tough one.
Yeah, winds up getting buried for the loss. And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So all things considered, that's not the final nail, but it does make things exceedingly difficult now on the other side.
Yeah, because obviously now with a 16-point game, the other guys don't need just 2 touchdowns. They need a couple of 2-point conversions as well. Plus they'll need either a turnover or an onside kick in there somewhere. So you're just adding to the list of things that need to happen in sequence. And it's going to be a pretty tall order this late in the game.
Atlanta's 11 ready to go, and they kick it away. Taken in at the 3. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. The offense coming back out here. Plenty of energy, ready to roll, looking to just add to what they have been doing after scoring a touchdown, Charles, their last time out.
And that's a great feeling to have on the sideline, partner, knowing you just won the battle against the opposing defense. And since they came off the field, I'll guarantee you all they want to do is get back out there because they know they have the upper hand on that defense right now.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. Just a gain of a couple there. And that'll bring up second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Looking to throw again on second down. Lynch. And he gets it complete to Latimer. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Throwing, Lynch. And that will be incomplete.
And I think we'll probably see him go for it here on fourth down. No reason not to. Down a couple of scores, they have to try and make something good happen.
Here we go. Lynch on fourth down. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Richie Graham. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. Little choice, Charles, but to go for it right there, and that pick six will be the icing on the cake.
Yeah, you don't know how many more possessions you're going to get, so really you're almost at the point of no options. Have to go for it. Bottom line, though, is defenders know that as well. They know you've got to throw the football. Had the right defense called, able to make a nice play on the ball, and that's all she wrote.
Point after, right down the middle. And that pushes the lead up to 23. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
They'll throw on first down with Lynch. And that is incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. From the shotgun, it's Lynch. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
From midfield now, here's Lynch. Wide open receiver complete. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 38-yard line. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first three quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the fourth. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution. Even though the scoreboard is going against you, you want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
Throwing again here, Lynch toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Now it's Lynch. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 25-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last two plays. A three-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know when...
Touchdown, Eagles! Kenneth Gainwell, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Eagles get a bit closer. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometime?
Lynch fighting, and he lost the football. And the Falcons say they have it, they do.
Well, that two-point attempt failed due to the fumble, but people that can't see this, but you've got a ball in your hands now, and you've got the thing locked in pretty well. You've got it covered up.
I love having a football in the booth. I always hang on to it. It makes me feel like I actually played back in my day.
Well, you probably could have. If you'd run that play, you would not have fumbled, I can tell you that.
Maybe. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Atlanta regains possession of the football. Now they are really in the driver's seat here, enjoying this lead late in the fourth quarter. The defense does have all three timeouts, but at this point, doesn't look like it's going to matter much. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Good gain there on first down. It keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him. Ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. On second down, here's Smith again. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3. So time runs out. It's a victory for the Atlanta Falcons, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better. And that got it done in this one.